Hey, what's up, everybody? Happy Friday. It is currently 20 degrees, going to be high around 40. I haven't done this in a few days, but sunrise is at 6:46 and sunset is at 4:19. Um, and this is going to be another sunny, clear day like yesterday. It was actually ended up being a really nice day. Um, One of my kids got strep throat, so I ended up staying home, and I've been praying lately because there's some little things that I have to do around. One of a kitchen light went out, and it's a like a shop light, so I went to replace it, and then it needed a ballast, and so and I'm not the most handy guy, but God is giving me the grace in the moments I need to be able to fix some things, and so I took the opportunity to try and fix it, and I did. God blessed me with that. But what I'm getting at is the prayer. My prayer was, Lord, help me to be able to steward the resources you've given me well. I've been praying it for a while because the light's been out for, I don't know, a week or something. And, um, with the sickness, even though she was sick and went to the doctor, got the medicine, blah, 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 she's going to be fine. Right? He gave me the time uh, to do it, where it was just one of my children here, um, and he gave me the grace I needed to do it, and I knew he would, and I was faithful in it, and faithful to wait on him. But I will say I was getting frustrated. Like, Lord, I know you want me to take care of these things, but I don't know how or when or and he like and not that I was doubting, but I was frustrated that because I wanna um, serve him well, and I wanna walk righteously, and God tells us to take care of steward things well, right? Steward our time well, steward our faith well, steward our bodies well, steward our resources well, and others, right? And other things, steward our children well. So, um, he, but he answered that prayer. He answered it, and he will answer our prayers. Okay, when we believe wholeheartedly, without wavering. Uh, James in James chapter 1, I think is. Let me flip over there. James chapter 1 and verse. James chapter 1. It says, "If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of God, that giveth to all men liberally, and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him." Now, that's verse 5, James 1, verse 5, James 1, verse 6. "But let him ask in faith, nothing wavering. For he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea, driven with the wind, tossed to and fro. For let not that man think that he shall receive anything of the Lord." Okay, you got to with full faith, faithfulness. Okay, faithfulness. Okay, um, so we've been talking about doubt. Okay, we've been talking about doubt this week, um, and we've been looking at "O ye of little faith," right? We've seen that phrase come up a lot. Now, here we're going to be in Matthew chapter 17, but this is also in Mark chapter 9 and Luke chapter 9. And I'm going to bounce over to the Mark uh, uh, recount account a little bit too. And I'm trying to keep it short. I only got 4 minutes left. Look, um, but this is all these that we've gone over can be multiple Sunday messages, 45 minutes to an hour, multiple for each one, and we're covering. I shoot for 8 minutes, and but they've been about 10 or 12. So we're covering a lot, and there's no way I can cover it all. So you guys really, this is just to get your teeth, your mouth wet. This is just a devotional to help you kick off your day, to just try and give you opportunity to reflect, and my prayer is that it helps. Okay, my prayer is that it helps. My prayer also, since it is Friday, is that everybody makes it to a church, a Bible preaching church, where you sit under the Word, you're saturated with the Word. The Holy Spirit shows up and moves in the community, and you edify each other, right? You fellowship. Don't try and say hi to somebody this Sunday. Don't just run in and run out. You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be a one body, a single body, a family of believers. All right, get with your church family, y'all. Do not forsake the gathering of the brethren. All right, so Matthew chapter 17 and verse 14. And when they would come to the multitude, there came to him a certain man kneeling down to him and saying, Lord, have mercy on my son, for he is a lunatic and sore vexed, and ofttimes he falleth into the fire and oft into the water. And I brought him to thy disciples, and they could not cure him. Then Jesus answered and said, O faithless and perverse generation. O faithless and perverse generation. Okay? And he's going to answer why he called them a faithless and perverse generation. O faithless and perverse generation, how long shall I be with you? How long shall I suffer you? Bring him hither to me. So, does everybody have, anybody have a child with a pacifier, right? And man, can't go to sleep, but you give him that pacifier and goes right to sleep, right? He got it the whoopee, right? He's got the whoopee. And Jesus, they're treating him like a whoopee, y'all. They're treating him like a whoopee. They don't they don't have faith that they can do these things, so they know he can, right? They just want to pop the whoopee in their mouth and everything be healed. But where's the faith in that, right? Where's the faith in that? And in verse 18, and Jesus rebuked the devil, and the devil departed, and he departed out of him, and the child was cured from that very hour. Then came the disciples to Jesus apart and said, why could not we cast him out? And Jesus answers, here's the answer, because of your unbelief. Because of your unbelief. Okay, doubt. For verily I say unto you, if ye have faith of a grain of mustard seed, ye shall say unto this mountain, remove hence and yonder, and it shall remove, and nothing shall be impossible unto you. Howbeit this kind goeth out by prayer and fasting. Many manuscripts don't have fasting there. That verse is omitted. But so in the Mark retelling now, look at this. So they come down from the Mount of Transfiguration. This is the very next day. That's what it tells us in Luke. The very next day after they were up at the mount where he was transfigured, and they saw Moses and Elijah. And so he comes down, and so let's see, Mark chapter 9 and 16, and he asks them, what are you arguing about? So he comes down there, he sees them arguing when they came up to the crowd. What are you arguing about? And someone from the crowd answered, Teacher, I brought my son to you, for he has a spirit that makes him mute, and whenever it seizes him, it throws him down, and he foams and grinds his teeth and becomes rigid. So there's a little bit more to it. What the attack of the spirit doesn't just throw him in the fire and throw him in the water, but it throws him down and it bruises him, it says. So I asked your disciples to cast it out, and they were not able to. And he answered them, O faithless generation, how long am I to be with you? How long am I to bear with you? How long is he to bear? How long is he going to suffer with us? How long is he going to hold us up? Okay? Bring him to me. And they brought the boy to him. And when the spirit saw him, immediately it convulsed the boy and fell on the ground and rolled about, foaming at the mouth. Ever wonder why sometimes it seems like sometimes unbelievers, even though they're unbelievers, some of the things they say and do, it's like they see God more than us? It's crazy, right? If you really sit back and look at it, you know, it's weird like that. It's weird like that. But even the demonic know the Lord, and they know the King when they see him, and they get scared, okay? And they get scared. So, knowledge starts with fear of the Lord. See, they get scared, but the believer has a reverence, all right? A believer has a reverence of the Lord. And so then Jesus brought the boy to him, and when the spirit saw him, immediately it convulsed the boy and fell to the ground and rolled about, foaming at the mouth. And Jesus asked his father, "How long has this been happening to him?" And he said, "From childhood." Okay, from childhood. Listen, y'all, like that should be a clue, right? Our children are attacked, man. Our children are attacked. This stuff, it's not just us as adults, right? And children can know the Lord. Don't think because your child is 4 or 5 that they can't have saving grace, and they don't understand salvation, because they can, and they do, and they know what sin is, okay? And they know what sin is, all right? And the enemy wants your children. The enemy wants your children. So parents, you better be faithful, okay? You better be faithful. I'm going to try and wrap it up real quick. Boom, boom, boom. And it off cast him into the fire and water and destroy him. But if you can do anything, have compassion on us and help us. Now, that's the man saying to the Lord, if you can do anything, have compassion on us and help us. Listen, Jesus, he's a loving God, y'all. He's a loving God. And he does have compassion on us. Now, look what he says. Look what Jesus' response is. And Jesus said to him, "If you can, all things are possible for one who believes." All things are possible for one who believes. Immediately, the father of the child cried out and said, "I believe. Help my unbelief. Help my unbelief." Listen, if you're doubting, why don't we pray this? God, I believe. Help my unbelief. Jesus, I believe in you. Help my unbelief. Help my unbelief. Okay? Are we scared? Call out. Call upon the name of the Lord, and you will be saved. Jesus, I believe. Help my unbelief. That's what the man says. And when Jesus saw the crowd came running, and he rebuked the unclean spirit, saying to it, "You mute and deaf spirit, I command you to come out of him and never enter again." And after crying out and convulsing him terribly, it came out, and the boy was like a corpse, and most of them said, "He is dead." But Jesus took him by the hand and lifted him up, and he arose. Now, Jesus, he helped his unbelief. He did something miraculous. These are sign miracles. There's no doubt that this is God. This is God in the flesh, and he's rebuking and doing and raising people from the dead, and like these are things that when he saw it, this is Jesus' answer to his prayer. He helped his unbelief, yo. Come on, man. If you're stuck in a time of unbelief, why don't you ask him to help your unbelief? And guess what? He's going to help you fix the light. He's going to help you fix the light. He's going to provide the time. He's going to provide you the know-how, even though you have no know-how. Okay? And you'll be able to ask a couple people some things. You'll be able to watch a little thing on the YouTube or whatever, and you'll figure it out. Why? Because he's going to help your unbelief, y'all. He's going to help your unbelief.